Hello everybody, this is Warm Light Tarot. Welcome to today's reading. We will be doing a reading for summer 2021. This is a general reading and there will be two love readings for summer as well. One for singles and the other for those who are partnered or who have some kind of connection in their lives already. So please stay tuned for those two videos. I will try to publish them within about a week of publishing this video. So this is a general reading. We have 3 piles of cards here. Pile number 1 is golden calcite. Pile number 2 is yellow citrine, and pile number 3 is tiger's eye. So I will let you have a few moments alone with these cards here so you can see which one of the piles you feel most drawn to. Excuse me. And feel free to pick more than one pile if that is what you feel called to do. Okay, and this is a general reading, so all aspects of the reading may not apply to you, so pick those messages that you feel called to listen, that resonate with you. Okay, anyway, now I will let you look at these cards alone. Hello, pile number 1. You chose this golden calcite. And here is your reading. Let's look at your cards. So the first cards that I pulled represent where you are emotionally, spiritually, psychologically this summer. So your energies, your vibes. Okay. So we have the 5 of Wands, 7 of Coins, 10 of Cups, and Wheel of Fate here. So it looks like to me that your summer starts with either with conflicts or busyness. It's not necessarily anything external. It could be external since Wands are a fire card, but it's also possible that it's an internal process that you're going through. Something about setting your priorities, possibly. You're not really sure, which way to go. I'm getting that feeling from these wands going in all these different directions, that it's just a confusing situation, and it feels like it continues a bit because we have the 7 of Coins here, which is about waiting and unknown results. It's a neutral / positive card, so I feel like it's not anything big that is going on. It could be something that you have to balance your work life and your love life or something like that, and you're not really sure what's going on, so there's a little bit of uncertainty. But then when we get towards the end of the summer, we have the 10 of Cups, 10 of Chalices, which is about love and fulfillment. This is a big card for relationships, so it could be something that if this confusing situation here, waiting, has something to do with your your love life or home life, it gets settled at some point and you reach an understanding and reach a fulfilled relationship with each other, and a cycle completes here since we have 10 here, which is the end of the minor arcana. And then we have Wheel of Fate a Major Arcana card, which is about positive changes, changes of luck, and generally just a lucky period in your life. So I feel like you will solve some sort of problem in your life or a conflict, either within yourself or in your relationships, perhaps. Okay, so the next cards that I pulled represent the environment that you are interacting with. So other people, perhaps maybe your work, your home life, your love life. Sorry, I put this in the wrong order. Here. And this one goes here. So the surrounding energies tell me that so we have, first of all, the 6 of Wands, 6 of Coins, 5 of Chalices, and 10 of Swords here. I think there's an interesting balance of 5s, and then we have 6s here, and 10s here. 5s are about challenges, basically. 6s are about stability and opportunities, and 10s are about completion. So I feel like your life goes through some sort of a cycle during the coming summer. There will be challenges, but also opportunities and also a sense of stability and security at some point, and then a completion of that cycle, and then moving on towards something else, something more lucky and happy for you. So when I look at these cards here, it feels like to me that these conflicts that are going on they have something to do with your maybe your career or projects, since we have Wands, the fire energy, Coins, which are about, it can be about your career or your home. So maybe career, projects, home. It feels like to me that maybe there's an issue of who's giving and getting more, since the 6 of Coins is about sharing, so giving and receiving, basically. And then the 6 of Wands is about victory and celebration. So I feel like at this point there's some sort of conflict, or your priorities are not really meeting each other. So the other person is maybe getting more, and that is making you feel kind of pressured, and like you're maybe giving more than what you are receiving. But that reaches its conclusion here, that maybe you will be able to settle this unequal exchange, whether it is in your work life or your home life. It could be a love relationship as well, since we have the 10 of Chalices here. There will be a sense of fulfillment from when we move on from this situation. However, if there's another person, it could be that they're feeling a little bit disappointed by it, kind of vulnerable and exposed. Like maybe they feel like they've lost something, even though they have gained quite a lot, because the 5 of Chalices is about kind of focusing on the negative a bit too much, even though you still have so many good things left. So something about your environment, maybe this is another person, you know, it kind of leaves them feeling defeated, but even in a kind of melodramatic way. That's what the 10 of Swords is always like to me. Like it's not just one sword here, but actually like 10 swords. So it could be that they're just here releasing whatever it is going on. This conflict reaches its conclusion here, because these two cards to me have similar energies. So this thing comes to its end here towards the end of the summer, and a more positive future is ahead of you. And that is not to say that the beginning of the summer wouldn't be positive for you, but there's just, conflicts are a part of life, and that is what seems to be happening here in the beginning of the month. However, there is a balance achieved, and the Ten of Swords can also be about enlightenment and just letting go of, whatever it is that is bothering you, whether it's external or internal. I also pulled one advice card to kind of tie together this reading. And the card is the Hierophant. I think it was in the May general reading that the Hierophant came up in one reading, and I feel like maybe this is sort of a continuation of that reading, because in that reading I said that the Hierophant is a card of commitment and spiritual love. So it is possible that this whole situation here has something to do with a relationship, like a love relationship. And of course it can be commitment in your career front as well, or in your home front as well. But to me, the Hierophant is like a blessing from the universe, that this process here that is going on, it's for your highest good. Sometimes we learn through pain. Actually, quite often we learn through pain and hardships. So I feel like the Hierophant is saying that the situation is good no matter what happens, that it is for your highest good and for your personal growth. Okay? I also pulled 3 oracle cards for some extra advice for what to focus on this summer, how to make it a good summer for you. So I would recommend you to listen to the reading for all of these cards, but if you feel like if you feel pulled towards one of these cards, that may be the main message for you this summer. So I will let you have a moment to look at them in peace. So the first oracle card is a card called Air. So to me this card is about it reminds you not to take things too seriously. It advises you to be light about it and just go with the flow, or go with the wind, basically. So it goes along well with what I said about not worrying about the situation too much, that conflicts and pain can be for your highest good in the end. The second oracle card it's called Oracle. So this card is about the emergence of something new and about clarity, and kind of like storms, they clear the air. Goes well together with this one. So I feel like this summer for you will clarify things, and that can be through hardships or conflicts, whatever is going on there. You just have to trust the process, that you are being led on this path and things will get better. Okay? And then we have a card called anima, which is about, anima and animus are about the feminine and masculine. So the anima is about embracing the feminine, the mystical force of the universe. So it's about balancing of masculine and feminine in your life. So maybe, there's too much masculine energy in your life. So that could be masculine when we talk about it in the negative sense, like aggression. And you should balance it with more, feminine, mystical, soft energies rather than just pushing and arguing, perhaps something like that. So that was your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. Remember to check out the love readings for the summer if you feel called to do that. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Hello, pile number 2. You chose this yellow citrine. And here is your reading. So let's look at your cards. The first 4 cards represent your energies, your vibes this summer. So where you are emotionally, spiritually, psychologically. Okay, so we have the Chariot, Queen of Swords, 7 of Swords, and Page of Cups here. So the Chariot tells me that you are going after something and you are trying to balance between opposing forces. We have the Queen of Swords here, and that is it's about intellectual and communicative maturity. So it is possible that this process is internal, that there is something going on within you and you're just trying to find your balance in that process and just go forward after what you want, and you are being very successful at that because we have a Major Arcana card and a Court card. Queens are mature energy. Then we have the 7 of Swords, and that's at its most negative, it can be about sneakiness and betrayal, but sometimes it's simply about just maybe not speaking your truth or just keeping things from other people, not necessarily in a negative way. Sometimes it's just best not to share everything with everyone. So it could be that whatever this process is, you don't really want to share it with other people, that it's your own process and you're dealing with something by yourself. Or it could be something external as well, that it could be something in your work front or your home life, love life, that is causing you to kind of have to navigate between different things. Like maybe you have different priorities, different wants, different communication styles, since queens are Queens of Swords are about communication, but something maybe goes sour with it and you're not sharing what's on your mind with this other person. And then towards the end of the summer we have Page of Cups, and that's a very lovely, even childlike card, full of emotional and spiritual newness and freshness. It's very kind of exciting, curious, adventurous card. I just get the sense that you're, walking away from something here and reaching this point of just finding yourself, enjoying your life. But it it comes from a mature place, since we have these mature cards here at the beginning, and then you just, something makes you feel tired, like you need time for yourself, and you will find it by being like the page of chalices. So someone youthful, happy, excited, energetic, curious. Maybe you will actually like go somewhere on your own, like rent a cabin and just go skinny dipping, you know, something like that. Next, let's look at cards that describe the surrounding energies. So it could be other people, it could be your work life, you know, home, family. Okay, so what I said about emotional and mental maturity, I do feel it from these cards as well. You have the Eight of Wands. That's a very positive card for swift movement and positive progress. It's about busyness. So it could be that what you're trying to do here is keeping you busy at the beginning of the summer. So, but it's sort of a balancing card. It's keeping you very busy, and maybe you have to prioritize one thing over the other. The High Priestess is about being intuitive, going within. It's about the mystical. So something makes you go deep within and reflect, but it's a process that doesn't only involve you, but it involves your surroundings. So there's some sort of maturation, reflectiveness, introspection going on in your surrounding as well. Something very positive going on here. Then we have the Five of Swords and the Three of Swords that are a bit of a negative card here. So the Five of Swords is about conflicts and clashes of ego. It could be an internal process, but since this is about the surrounding energies, it's possible that there is an external conflict with someone. I feel like you just kind of want to pull away from it, or you're not telling everything that you could tell this other person. You're kind of keeping to yourself. It's not necessarily anything huge. You know, arguments are a part of life. And you're gonna exit this situation then to a more positive situation. Maybe you prioritize yourself. Maybe there's been a lot of busyness going on here. Maybe you've been prioritizing other people, and then the situation gets a bit too much and you just need some time for yourself and to recharge, gather your energies. And it could be that this is another person, like maybe a partner, that kind of feels like they've broken their heart. If you're in that situation where your relationship or partnership is not going well, in that case, like, it could mean an actual breakup, but not necessarily, because it could be that, you know, they're just coming to their senses that if you've been sacrificing yourself for this other person, and maybe if your life is just filled with arguments here, then you wanna move on permanently or just for a while. They just it kind of wakes them up. It breaks their heart. And you know, the Three of Swords is also about learning through pain, so it's also about progress. So it's not the end of the story here. It could be that they will appreciate you more if you take time to prioritize yourself. I also pulled a card for advice to tie down this reading. I got a pulled one card, and then there's a jumper that came along. So the 10 of coins and 8 of coins here. So these cards tell me that the situation that is going on here probably has something to do with your home life, your family, or your work. So the 10 of coins is about kind of comfort and abundance and loyalty, especially in your home with your family. And the 8 of coins is about working hard and methodologically. So these are quite positive cards to me. So it could be that sometimes when you face your problems head on and you have arguments, even though it feels horrible in that situation, the result of that is a more harmonious home life or a relationship. So the end result is very positive. It does require some work on both of your behalf, or if it's like a family or work situation, you know, it requires work as a team. But I feel like, you know, at the end of this, there is something positive. So it's not the end of the world, even though there would be some arguments or conflicts or different priorities happening in your work or your home life. I also pulled 3 oracle cards as some extra advice, kind of like advice to tell you where to focus on this summer and how to make it a good summer for yourself. I would advise you to listen to the message from all of these cards, but if you feel drawn to one of them, then it's possible that that is a message for you. So I will let you have a moment to look at them in peace. Okay, so the first card is called Sensation. So that is about understanding ourselves and the world around us through our senses. So our taste, touch, smell. So it's about the physicalness of life, the physical element. To me, that ties well together with this one, because I feel like this is a very physical experience. When you just go into the nature, go swimming, you just feel all of it in your body, and that kind of refreshes your mind and gives you a new perspective to your life. So next we have a card called Threshold. So this is about waking up to a new awareness and just going deeper into understanding things. So it's just kind of pushing over a threshold to achieve that situation. So it could be that this reading here refers to that kind of situation, that kind of pushing past this discomfort and problems will lead you to a more happier situation in the end. So just trust the process, that things will get better and there is a purpose to everything. Okay, and next we have Conflict. So this is about the about how conflicts are unavoidable in life. So it's about relaxing into it and just letting it happen. It can help you find new understandings and new perspectives. So it's not necessarily just a bad thing. Like, of course, if you just keep having arguments, keep fighting, there's no resolution, it can't be a bad thing. But if you use it as a tool of personal growth and as a tool of growth in your relationships or your career, your home, it can be a positive force in the end. So don't be afraid of conflict in your life. Okay, so pile number 2, that was your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you got something out of it, and remember to stay tuned for those love readings that I talked about in the beginning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye bye. Hello, pile number 3. You chose this piece of tiger's eye, and here is your reading. So first I pulled these 4 cards to represent where you are emotionally, mentally, spiritually this summer. So we have the 3 of Wands here, Fortitude, the Sun, and the Queen of Swords. So this 3 of Wands here tell me that you are in a planning process as the summer begins. You are here looking into the future, or possibly somewhere else. Like, I feel like for some of you this could mean that you are maybe looking to move somewhere. Whatever it is, that it is something that you have been building a foundation for, and you have been planning it, and now you are ready to move forward towards it. Then we have 2 major arcana cards here, as well as a court card. I'm getting very powerful vibes from these cards. First, my attention goes to the Sun, which is a card that I get very, very rarely in readings, whether that's readings for myself or for other people. It's an extremely powerful card. It's about your true self, the powerful, positive power of yourself, as well as illumination. So I feel like this process that you are starting here, it is ultimately something that makes you come into power, and you will discover your true self, your whole self. It's an extremely powerful journey. It does require some inner strength and compassion and patience for yourself, as well as for other people, but ultimately it will be extremely successful for you. You will discover yourself and who you are, what you want in life, and I feel like you will achieve mental maturity on this process here, because the Queen of Swords is someone who is very shrewd and intelligent. They are in touch with their thoughts. They're not extremely emotional. They're rather using their thoughts and their communication skills, their psychology, to their advantage. Then let's look at the surrounding energies. So I pulled 4 more cards to clarify the energies of other people, of possibly your work, your family, your relationships. So we have the Empress here, 4 of Wands, 5 of Coins, and the Queen of Chalices. So the Empress here to me is about creation and manifestation. It's about the process of it. It's not often necessarily a very quick process. It's something that may take a while, and it requires you to nurture it. So with the Fortitude here and the Empress here, I do feel like whatever it is that you are planning here, it does require you to be extremely loving, patient, nurturing, and as well as shrewd and mentally stable. I feel like if you've been trying to find your way or plan something, manifest something, it could happen this summer, or it's possible that it's a continuous process and it will manifest, it will happen during the traditional harvest time. So I guess August, September, October, those months, since we do have these kind of harvest symbols in this card here. And sometimes manifestations are a longer process than just, having one, big manifestation. Like, for example, when you think about love, like maybe you will meet the person and then you will date. And if you want to get married, you will get married. So it's not just like one thing that happens, but several things that happen as a continuation over years, decades even. But I do feel like, since we have the 3 of Wands here, then we get to the 4 of Wands here, something in your life, something positive happens in your life during this summer, because the 4 of Wands is about celebration and get together, and it can also represent, weddings and engagements, if that is something that is going on in your life. But it could be something else entirely. Like, for example, if you've been trying to get your business going, or just trying to manifest something, feels like a very positive time for that to happen, or for you to work on it. Then we get to the 5 of Coins here, and the 5 of Coins is about poverty and support. But because you have this very powerful card here, or powerful cards, I do feel like you are this I guess I would say a princess, this crowned person here, who is giving their support to somebody else who is feeling maybe neglected or going through a tough time. It could be like a small child, as is in this picture here, or it could even be an adult, or a cause that you are working on, and that where you want to provide your protection and your support to. And then we have the Queen of Chalices here with 2 queens. I feel like you will reach the maturation of your plans, of your evaluation, of your evolution as a person in this specific journey. At the end of the summer, it will be a very emotionally fulfilling period for you, as well as intellectually and mentally fulfilling period as well. So this is a very, very powerful reading that I'm seeing here. Feels like you will have a great summer as a whole. I also pulled 1 card for advice to kind of tie together this reading, and the card that I pulled is the Moon. This is another major arcana card, and it's about your dreams on the positive. On the negative, it's about fears and anxieties. So I feel like this process here requires you to work through whatever issues you may be having, some things that are causing you to feel anxious or depressed, sad. And then on the positive, it tells you to go after your dreams, and I feel like that is what it is going here. Don't be afraid to follow your dreams. I also pulled these 3 oracle cards as extra advice, as an advice to how to make most of your summer, basically, and how to facilitate this process that is going on here as a whole. So I would recommend that you listen to the reading of all of these cards, but I will let you have a few moments alone with these cards in case you feel drawn to one of them or two of them more than the others, right? Because in that case it can be a message for you, okay? Okay, so the first card that we have is called Psyche. So Psyche is about our mind as a whole, so our consciousness and subconsciousness, and it's about meeting our dark side as well as our light side. So it's about darkness and light. I think it's a very, very fitting card for the sun here, because you are really becoming yourself this summer and finding your path. And it also goes well along with the moon, so don't be afraid of the darkness in your mind. Just work on transmuting it for the good, for your future, because it will be worth it in the end. So the next card is called Self, also a very fitting card for this entire reading. So it's about the emergence of your true self, about becoming whole and kind of finding yourself by trusting yourself and going within as well as going to the world. So whatever this process is, you should trust it, because it will take you to places and you will become stronger as a result of it. And then we have a card called Simplicity. It's about the isness of things, of just pure being, the naturalness of things. So I feel like it could point to this whole process here being something that feels very natural to you. You feel like you are becoming yourself, and it's not something that is very complicated in the end. It's very natural. You just have to tap into yourself, trust the universe, trust the process, and embrace, the smaller things in life, which may end up being like huge things for yourself. So just trust the simplicity of life, and you will end up, discovering yourself and finding your path in life this summer. So, number 3, that was your reading. I really hope that you enjoyed it and that you got something out of it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and remember to check out those love readings that I talked about in the beginning. They should be published very soon, within about a week. So thank you so much. Bye bye.